Hello and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, the satellite picture right now, quiet across the Northeast. We've got some cloud cover across northern portions of the Northeast, waking up to sunshine across southern New York, Pennsylvania into New Jersey and Maryland. If you look off toward the west, though, we have a couple disturbances, the first of which is the remnants of tropical storm, now tropical depression Cristobal, making its way up the Mississippi River, impacting parts of the Midwest today. We've also got a trailing wave here that's going to be pushing Cristobal out of here, bringing a cold front through the region that is lighting up with thunderstorms right now, anywhere from the high plains all the way into the Canadian prairie. We can see that with a look at the radar picture here again. Here's the frontal boundary, the upper level wave right now that's igniting thunderstorms from Colorado into northern Minnesota on into Ontario. Here are the remnants of tropical depression Cristobal, and then we've got some showers making their way through northern portions of the Northeast right now across upstate New York, through portions of New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. We have a couple days of severe weather to talk about associated with Cristobal and the main upper level wave. Today, we're looking off toward the west, parts of the Corn Belt here. A couple of areas here in the high plains, or the central plains, and then again across the eastern Corn Belt, Illinois and Indiana, Kentucky into Tennessee, with a chance for a couple of isolated tornadoes today. That threat shifts into parts of the Northeast tomorrow, with a slight risk of severe storms from parts of Michigan and Ohio. Eastward into New York and Pennsylvania, we'll see thunderstorms erupting during the afternoon and evening hours there, with damaging winds, large hail, and a couple of tornadoes possible as well. As we head into Thursday, which is going to be bottom center here, that severe weather threat again begins to diminish as the cold front pushes off to the east. So we'll look at the high-resolution NAM model. We'll go quickly through the day today, watching just for those light showers across northern areas. We'll then watch for our afternoon and evening severe weather threats to ramp up across these areas during the afternoon and evening hours. As we head into the day tomorrow, though, this is going to be Tuesday night, getting into sunrise on Wednesday morning, quiet across the Northeast, heading into midday, still quiet across the Northeast. Heading into the mid-afternoon hours, we'll begin to watch thunderstorms erupt across parts of Pennsylvania and New York. The main area of severe weather likely going to be back towards the cold front here across parts of central Ohio during the evening hours, racing from west to east, pushing into parts of the Northeast into the overnight on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. As we head into the afternoon on Thursday, we'll see that cold front pushing off to the east pretty quickly. We could see a couple of strong storms across parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, getting into Maine, parts of Massachusetts, down to Connecticut, on down the cold front into parts of the mid-Atlantic. Again, the chance for a couple isolated storms Thursday afternoon. Total precipitation between now and midday Thursday, again, pretty scattered in nature across the Northeast. We've got a couple corridors of heavier rain across the central U.S., scattered in nature as we head across the Northeast here. Some people, where they get maybe a heavier thunderstorm or two, could pick up an inch or so of precipitation, maybe locally higher amounts, but a lot of people just going to get a trace here to a few tenths of an inch as those folks fall in between the showers and storms. Now, as we head into the next 7 to 10 days, we've got a big change going on. We have this trough in the west right now, the ridge in the east. That's allowed for warmer conditions across much of the region as we've head through the last few days. But we're going to see this trough moving into the northeast as we head into the end of the week, into the weekend, kind of anchoring itself in this region as we head into early next week. And so that's going to bring a prolonged stretch of cooler temperatures across the Northeast region, also, that's the word I'm looking for, also keeping cloud cover in the chance for some light precipitation in the forecast as well. So as we look at the days 4 through 10 precipitation outlook, keeping at least coastal areas, eastern portions of the Northeast here with above normal precipitation into the day 10 time frame. Temperatures across the region, again, warmer right now. They'll continue to be warmer as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours as this storm system approaches from the west. But as that trough begins to anchor across the Great Lakes into the Northeast, we'll see several days of cooler temperatures, cooler by June standards, so we're not talking about cold or anything like that, just a break from the hot and humid weather as we head into early next week. But it does look like we'll see that trough begin to kind of break down, seeing ridging taking back over as we head into the end of next week, looking out around days 7 through 10. So a brief cool down here as we head through the weekend across the Northeast, keeping some pesky showers in the forecast in some areas. Let's look at the European forecast model here. Looking at the precipitation forecast, again ramping up as we head into the later part of the day on Wednesday from west to east, watching the potential for some strong storms moving across the area Wednesday evening into Wednesday overnight, and then potentially flaring back up during the day Thursday across primarily coastal regions of the Northeast. On the backside of that, we'll see cooler temperatures, a brief break in the precipitation here Friday into Saturday. By the time we get into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, kicking back into the at least the chance for scattered light showers back into the northeast region. Not talking about much in the way of severe weather or heavy precipitation, but just really a gloomy, cool start to next week before we start to build a ridge back into the region and turn back on the summer heat across the region. So your high temperatures for the next several days across the northeast and across the entire continental U.S. The highs today, 60s and 70s in the north with 80s to near 90s across western portions of the northeast. That similar pattern lasts into the day on Wednesday. Again, we'll be talking about that severe weather threat here where it is very hot and humid during the afternoon and evening, providing the fuel for those thunderstorms to flare up during the later part of the day. Thursday, we really start to trim back the heat from west to east. Here's a look at your Friday highs, and then Saturday we really start to cool down, 60s and 70s for the high temperatures across the region, and that is likely going to linger into early next week.